Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Forgot to move my microphone. There we go. It is I, the SaleenDriver, coming at you with episode 97 of Wednesday Afternoon Live with SaleenDriver. That's me. The show about nothing in particular. And I don't have anything in particular to talk about today, which is normal. First of all, I'm going to get, let's see, I've only got two people in here allegedly, but I did, as has been pointed out to me by a couple of people, I did actually miss literally all of my friend Uncle Lou's recent 24-hour live stream. So I just don't know what happened on that live stream, other than I heard Jesse had a pretty good rant about non-Georgia fans. I heard the Boss Babes were on for a little while. This past weekend was not a good weekend for me. And I just was not really physically able to sit at a desk for very long and play on a computer. So I'm probably not going to really go into it much more than that, other than the reason I missed the 24-hour stream was basically not because I didn't want to be there. I really would have loved to have been there, had some fun. But it just wasn't a good weekend. So let's see. Alan A. was here talking about my lawn. Sir, I live in a townhouse. The HOA takes care of my lawn, so I don't care about my lawn. So if you want to be on my lawn, be on my lawn. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is don't be in my house if you're not welcome. Not to say that you wouldn't be welcome, Alan, but I don't know you. I'd have to know you before I let you in my house. Uncle Lou was here with his little eyeball emoji. Steve Pearson's here. Good afternoon to you, sir. Jay Snipes is here. I am not a NASCAR driver. I am a SaleenDriver. There is a difference. Battle Angel, my favorite purple-haired chickie, is here. Good afternoon to you, my dear. And Ballard Sports Media is here. Good afternoon to you, sir. Let's see. What's going on out there? Oh, Battle Angel will probably be interested in this. It looks like, I don't know if any of you watched my recent walking and talking, not walking video, which was the week before last, talking about hurricanes and stuff like that. It looks like a hurricane, well, not a hurricane, but a tropical system of some sort is actually going to hit this side of Florida this weekend, coming from a direction that let's see, we're just going to get rid of that one. Coming from a direction that isn't normal for pretty much no time of year does a hurricane originate or a tropical system originate in the Pacific, cross over the small part of Mexico, pop out on the other side, redevelop, and then head northeast. So when you look at that video I made, I was trying to explain, because Battle Angel asked me to explain, why it is that the area of Florida I live in, which is the Sarasota-Bradenton area, doesn't seem to get hit by hurricanes very often. And there's you can watch the video, but in short, there's an old Indian legend that says there's an Indian burial ground in the area, and the spirit of that burial ground protects this area. I think it has more to do with the geography of Florida. And by that explanation, this side of Florida doesn't get hit with a lot of hurricanes. Well, 2 weeks later, it looks like this side of Florida is going to get hit with a tropical system. I don't know that it's going to be a hurricane yet. I don't think the Hurricane Center believes it's going to be a hurricane yet, but it is going to be a fairly strong storm of tropical origin. Now, whether it will become a named system or not, that's another question. But, well, I'll try and pull it up for you. Let's see. Lou's back. Alan A's back. Watch 6-2 is here. Battle Angel wants to know if we stirred up some bad mojo. I don't think we did. No. But let me see if I can pull up a Hurricane Center map here real quick. Hang on. Get the Hurricane Center 5-day. And let's see if I can share that to the group. Let's see. No, I guess because I'm starting this thing in Google Chrome instead of Firefox. All my preferences are screwed up. Let's see if I can do it. Hang on. Hang on. See if I can do it this way. Nope. Guess I'm not going to be able to do it. So the hell with it. Anyway, if you're interested at all, you can still go online, check it out yourself. I use Firefox all the time, Alan. It's what I'm used to. I use Safari for some stuff. I use Chrome for some stuff, but I use Firefox. Yeah. Hashtag professional. You know, shit doesn't work the way you want it to, so what the hell. Anyway, gonna grab the StreamYard link, see if anyone wants to come on here and have some fun with me. Let's see, car is in the shop. I'm sorry to hear that, Ballard. That's a shame. Do they know what's wrong with it yet? But yeah, it looks like after all that explanation that I gave on that video about how hurricanes don't hit this part of Florida, because most hurricanes come from a couple of different directions, we're going to get hit with a storm that comes from an entirely different direction that almost never happens. So, yeah, guess Mother Nature made me look foolish. P Digits is here. My parents are okay, P Digits. They're doing all right. We're still working on trying to get my father to walk again. He can walk now. I mean, you know, it's the ability to get from a sitting position to a standing position is a real challenge, because depending on what he's sitting on, he may not be able to stand up again. And depending on what he's standing, he may not be able to sit easily again. So, That's real funny. Okay. Hang on. Oop. Oh, come on, man. I was about to click on getting you in here. Try again. Dyslexic BVD is here. Good to see you, sir and or madam. Lou says that Mother Nature is not needed to make me look foolish. Okay, I'll accept that. You've probably been talking to my ex-wife or one of my kids again. Thoughts on Mayhem Matthew? Pardon me. Urinating on people? I have no thoughts on that, sir. I didn't know Mayhem Matthew was doing that. That's kind of disgusting, if you ask me. You shouldn't pee on people. That, to me, is probably right up there with spitting on people. Kind of an insult. Alan A. Thoughts on Ballard and Mayhem Matthew doing a show together? Well, Ballard's in the background. Let's bring him in.
Hey, what's up?
And you're doing a show with Mayhem Matthew?
Yep. We did the third episode last night. It's called Touchdown Tuesdays, and you can catch it on Mayhem Matthew's channel.
I didn't know Mayhem Matthew had a channel, per se. I mean, technically, if you're on YouTube, you have a channel.
Right. You just didn't know he uploaded.
No, I didn't know that, no. And now yeah. Uncle Lou says, what if the person wants you to, though? Talking about peeing on you.
Gross.
I'm sorry, Lou. I'm not into that kind of kinky stuff. I prefer, more or less normal stuff. Peeing on somebody or other kinds of bodily functions on somebody else. That's not where I'm at any point in my life. So, hey, if that's what turns you on, sir, as we say in Yiddish, lazem leben. You live your life. If you're the type of person, I'm not saying you are, Lou. I'm not saying you are. But if you're the type of person that wants to be peed on by your partner or shit on or spit on or
how the hell did this conversation start?
You do you, sir and or madam. You do you. Whatever. If you get turned on by having your significant other give you an enema. Okay, great. Not what I'm into.
Who started this conversation? What comment did I miss that we're talking about piss?
I don't know. Well, Uncle Lou made a comment section about any thoughts that I might have had on Mayhem Matthew peeing on people.
Oh.
And I said, no, that's disgusting. And then he says, what if the person wants you to? And I say, well, I'm not in a relationship. And probably at this point in my life, I never will be again. So, but let's say, for example, God forbid, I meet a very understanding blind woman who can't really see what I look like.
Yeah.
And we start dating and everything, and she says, pee on me when we're getting intimate. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Or if we're at my house, she's leaving. Yeah, so that's not my thing. No, I'm not, Maybe for Megan Fox. Maybe.
Is it crooked, Kevin?
Huh?
He says my poster is crooked, is it? I don't know.
Doesn't look crooked to me, Did I say that spitting on people is wrong? Yes, I did. You shouldn't spit on people. That's not right. That's an insult.
Isn't that's a offense? Some people, I think, like you can get a citation.
Well, in some cultures, it's like you remember a long time ago when in the Second Iraq War when we conquered Iraq and kicked Hussein out of office, they were knocking down statues of him all the time, and people were going up to the statue and beating the statue with their shoes.
Okay.
And remember that press conference in Iraq or somewhere where an Arab reporter threw a shoe at Bush. You see, in that part of the world, if you touch someone with the underside of your shoe, that's considered a great insult.
Uh-oh.
Well, because it's dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but did you see the recent Dune movie?
No, I did
No.
not.
Okay. There's a scene in the Dune movie where the leader of a great house in Dune, a duke, meets with the leader of the people of a planet he's a steward over, and the person of the planet came into the hall to meet him and spit on the floor.
Okay.
And everyone in the hall thought he was insulting the Duke, but the particular planet they're on is completely a desert planet. Water is scarce, so it's considered a great honor if you spit in the presence of someone. You're giving up your bodily fluids, which are precious, to show respect and honor to the person you're meeting. So but in most cases, I would say spitting on someone is an insult.
Yeah.
George Carlin, you remember George Carlin? You remember?
Oh yeah.
He said in a routine, spitting in the subway is a $500 fine, but throwing up is free. So go figure.
Carlin's hilarious, man. My grandmother's shown me some of his work.
Oh, he is a wild.
He
was funny in the beginning of his career. In the middle, he was very funny. When he got old and crotchety, he just got mean. I mean, he just got. Yeah. He wasn't funny anymore. He was just insulting. Wait a minute here. Hang on. Lou says, Selena, girl has never spit on you for reasons. No. No.
K-Dog says spit or slob on the knob.
Jesus.
K-Dog
says Dune is boring. Well, K-Dog and I can never be friends now. So sorry, K-Dog. I'm not buying. Just water, folks. Just water. It's actually vodka in a water bottle. Uncle Lou says, if you've never been spit on, then you've never been with anyone who knows what they're doing. I know what he's talking about. And for one thing, I want Battle Angel's opinion on this. God. So, Battle Angel, I need your opinion on this, please. And for another thing, yeah, never mind. So what's new, Val? What you doing on your channel that's new and interesting?
Just going through team previews.
You going to Florida yet, or you haven't?
I started with out of respect for the champs. I thought it would be fair to start with Georgia, but
well, they are the champs until somebody dethrones them. That is true.
Yes. I did Florida, I think, third or fourth, but I did all the SEC teams first, so now I'm in the Big Ten.
I guess I missed the Florida one, so I have to go back and watch it.
I gave props, though. I congratulated you guys on firing Dan Mullen and said that the only reason you guys would fail this year isn't because of Billy Napier, but because of the lack of recruiting Dan Mullen did. You don't have any players.
Well, I've been saying all along with respect to Florida, I mean, you figure you figure with the end of the Urban Meyer era, he was doing damage to the program. Then we hire Moose Dump, who did extreme damage. Then we got the Shark Humper, who didn't do anything to help the program. In fact, probably damaged it further. When we get the clown show that was Dan Mullen, who I will admit I had hopes for because of his connections to Meyer.
Yeah.
And I was really hoping that the Urban Meyer magic would somehow rub off on him a little bit. And I mean, no. I mean, I'll give him props that he did beat Georgia one time. I mean, happy for that. I'll give him. I will say I was happy for the times that he managed to beat Florida State and continued to beat Tennessee.
Yeah,
but he never did anything at Florida that I would consider to be moving the program in a big positive direction to try and catch Alabama. And he let Georgia just roar past us. Now Georgia and Alabama are way off in the distance. Tennessee is now, I think, about ready to pass us. Napier can't really do anything this year other than what he got off the transfer portal and what he can do to get current players to buy in.
Yeah. You guys did steal y'all stole a 5-star recruit last year from Alabama and Georgia. I can't remember what his name was. Kamari something, or I don't know.
Yeah, but that's one player. I mean,
Yeah.
It's Georgia and Alabama again this year for the East and West respectively. Florida is going to have it's going to be very hard to be a Gator fan this year. But like the song says, in all kinds of weather, and ride or die on the orange and blue for me. I mean, that's all it's ever going to be. But it's going to be a hard year to watch. I hope we play defense for the first time in 3 or 4 years. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Would be nice if AR-15 could take a couple steps forward and show us what we got or what he's got. I just, and you know how Lou has always been saying that the only way he's going to resurrect Voltard is if Tennessee beats Georgia, Bama, or Florida.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say we're going to see the resurrection of General Voltard this year.
I've been saying it.
I've been saying too. Not that I think Tennessee is light years better than Florida, but Tennessee is not a damaged program right now. Florida is, and the game is in Knoxville. And whether you believe that Hendon Hooker or Hendon Ho or whatever is a good quarterback or a bad quarterback, I think he's proven that he's probably better than AR-15. Unless AR-15 developed a hell of a lot in the offseason. I don't see Florida beating Tennessee this year. I certainly don't see him beating Utah. The Kentucky game will be a struggle. I think the best Florida can hope for in the regular season is 7-5. I'll probably do a video where I go over the schedule game by game. But spoiler alert, I'm thinking a 7-5 season. At this point, I just want to beat Florida State.
I think I had you guys 5-7 or 6-6. I don't see much happening.
No, probably not. Let me catch up on the chat here. Battle Angel retracted a message at one point. Uncle Lou's using a water emoji with an eggplant emoji. So yeah, I knew what you were talking about, Lou. I'm not so old that I'm out of touch. Let's see. Battle Angel says, if you want my opinion, whether I ever enjoy getting urinated or spit on, the answer is no. Hard no. Okay, well, Lou says that's fake news, so Lou's going to be in trouble. Yeah. VicTube is here. Good to see you. Luz says the Florida defensive line is going to be horrible. That's probably not a lie. That's probably there's going to have to be a lot of rebuilding on the defense because lard-ass Grantham destroyed him. I mean, he made such a laughing stock out of Florida's defense and defensive side of the program. It's going to take a couple of recruiting classes to build that back up. Battle Angel obviously is colorblind because she says orange and blue is a bad color combination. That's fake news. Blue and yellow good, blue and orange bad, says Lou. Well, I expect that out of Lou. So let's see. VicTube says I was going to have Florida 7-5. Then I found out Copeland and Gambit hit the portal. Oh, well. And Ballard walks out on me, just like everybody else in my life. Battle Angel said, who's the professional here? You are a professional hair stylist, yes, and you are good with color. That's true. But I have several friends who are in the design business. They are designers, and one of them is an interior designer. One of them is a designer of buildings and building spaces, and they both work with color combinations all the time. And they both tell me, and they are professionals that do this for a living, they tell me that orange and blue is a natural color combination with respect to design elements, especially interior design elements. So orange and blue is not only a beautiful color combination, it is a natural color combination. So fight me. Uncle Lou says I spit on BA a bunch of times and she never complained, probably because she was shaking and couldn't speak for an hour.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, that's gross. Lou says that's fake news, and Lou says that Battle just says that's fake news. Lou says it's facts, and Lou says it won't happen again. Okay. What I would like is if Lou and Battle Angel would come on to the StreamYard and argue this out in person, live and in Technicolor, but they probably won't. VicTube is obviously off his medication right now because he says Stetson Bennett is better than AR-15 and the ukulele combined. Wow, that must be some strong meds that he's on that he jumped off of to believe that. Let's see. Big Dog Bob is here. I am well, Bob, so thank you for asking. And welcome to be here. Please don't forget to click the thumbs up button at some point, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, so you're doing a show with Mayhem Matthew.
Yes.
You're doing walking and talking in the park or whatever. What else are you doing? Every time I turn my computer on, I get alerts on YouTube that Ballard Sports Media posted another video. Busy boy.
Pearson.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to log in for my math class, and it keeps telling me to, I forgot the password, so I had to reset it. Then I reset the password, tried that password. It said it was incorrect. So screw you, Pearson.
Password should be trigonometry sucks dick. My dad is good, Bob. Like I said earlier, we're just trying to get him to walk again. We're trying to get him to walk consistently. And we're also trying to get him to be able to stand up consistently from a sitting position, which is not easy for him right now. It really isn't. The man is really struggling with this, and yeah, it's just not a lot of fun to watch. Oh, goody. Oh. I didn't want to see that message come across, but hang on.
Type.
Hang on a minute. I got to do something at the front door real quick. Be right back.
Okay. Uncle Lou says 1-800-HOME-NURSE. That's funny.
That was not a message I wanted to get, but all right. VicTube says Albert the alligator transferring to UCF. This is also fake news. SEC Dog says Albert the alligator hit the portal. That's fake news. No, I just had to. I had to do something to the front door, Lou. It's no big deal. Something that I got shit going on around here that I cannot explain. I don't want to talk about. It's just crap. Is Lance and Jasper still alive? Even
I'm not sure. Are you talking about the Feinbaum caller?
I guess I don't know. This guy in 10. I don't know if anybody else besides me knows about it, but
I don't heard that name.
Lance and Jasper. I was a subscriber to his channel a long time ago because he was kind of funny in a pathetic sort of way. I mean, probably not quite as bonkers as George, but maybe a little close. Lives in Jasper, Tennessee, Florida Gator fan. And I think he's a Duke Blue Devil fan in basketball, which I don't care about.
That says bandwagon. If he's also a Tennessee fan, unless he has true ties to Durham, North Carolina, he's a Duke Blue Devil bandwagoner.
Probably,
my opinion.
Anyway, I don't know. He stopped every time he was on doing a video. He would be sitting at his kitchen table, and he have like one of those wood marijuana pipes or something like that, and he kept lighting it and then throwing the lighter on the table, and then 2 minutes later he'd light it again and throw the lighter on the table, screaming about the Mullenade and all this nonsense. It just stupid guy. I mean, just pathetic. I think I watched him for like 3 or 4 episodes, and it's like it's the same damn thing all the time. He just sits there, rants and raves, and smokes weed, talking to some old hag off camera.
Yeah.
Got tired of him. And I don't even know whatever happened to him. All his channel dried up, and I left long before that. I don't know whatever happened to the guy. He's just. Lou says he's a Florida Gators version of 8 Camel Toe. So okay. That makes sense. Hang on, I gotta respond to this text message real quick. Hang on, I gotta do this. That's that rage typing that everyone loves so much. Although I wasn't raging, I was just saying thank you to somebody for a nice update that will make my younger daughter happy. I'm all about making the younger daughter happy. Oh, and Uncle Lou doing a little entertainment tonight. Amber Heard found liable for defamation. Johnny Depp wins $15 million.
Oh God.
You know what? I am proud to say I didn't watch one single minute of that trial or that nonsense. I mean, I follow a lot. I follow about 350 channels. I'm subscribed to about 350 channels on YouTube. There's probably a dozen of them or so that have to do with court procedures and legal stuff like that, because I'm kind of, I like that stuff. I'm kind of a law nerd. Sometimes it's entertaining.
Yeah.
All of them were doing either live streaming the trial on their channels or doing sum up, commentary streams after the day was over. And it's like, why is anyone wasting their time on this nonsense? That the world is burning.
Right.
Oh, no problem, Pizza Woman. Pizza Woman is here. That's my number one troll killer. Love her to death. The world is burning, my friends, and I mean we're pushing $6 a gallon diesel, pushing $5 a gallon gasoline, inflation in double digits, real inflation. We've got 14 different challenges on the world stage. And all everyone ever wants to do is talk about two celebutards, arguing with each other over somebody defecated on a bed and somebody wrote a bad article about somebody else sometime in the past. Oh, seriously. I mean, getting stuck in on reality TV like, Tiger, what is it?
Tiger King?
Tiger King.
I remember that.
And going batshit crazy over the ending of Game of Thrones or Ozark is one thing, but to have an entire society transfixed over Johnny Depp arguing, getting into a pissing contest over it was his cock or is Amber Heard's cock bigger is beyond me, beyond my ability to understand. When these are the same people that don't give a shit when your taxes go up, but lose their friggin' minds when their bank fees go up 25 cents. I just don't understand. I don't understand any of it. It frankly, it disgusts me. And I don't know why I'm wasting time on it, but okay, good. The trial is over. Amber Heard is a bad girl. Johnny Depp is a rich or richer boy. And then there's going to be an appeal and they're going to re-swizzle the judgment. It's like that genius woman a few years ago that won $4 million for scalding herself in a hospital over a hot cup of coffee. And then on appeal, the judge knocked it down to a few $100,000 or something like that. So, whatever. He won $15 million today. I don't think it'll stick. Traveling Fools is here. Let's see. No, I'm not tracking any packages today, Alan, but thank you for asking. VidTube was on Team Johnny. K-Dog is on Team Raj. Now Uncle Lou wants to go into abortions, and I don't want to, so I'm not going to answer that question. Why now Uncle Lou wants to, why did the Trump tax cuts end in 21 for individuals but remain intact for the corporations? That's probably because of the way the law was written. Why don't you read the original Trump tax cut law? you'll probably find in there a sunset provision, which they do all the time in tax law. They never make anything permanent. They have it so that provisions end at a certain point. So that's probably it. And that's par for the course. I mean, you do tax cuts for individuals for a certain amount of time because Congress won't make them permanent for whatever reason, probably because they don't want to give up a lot of power, so they don't make such things permanent. But they will make tax policy for corporations permanent, because corporations, if they're properly run, try and plan out their financial commitments 2, 4, 5, 10 years into the future, and they need stable tax policy in order to do financial planning. Whereas we all know, most people sitting around their kitchen table don't plan financially past their next paycheck. So, that's the way that probably worked, Lou. Sorry if that doesn't give you any trolling fodder, but I'm sure you can find something else. It's a K-Dog Russell. Amber Heard will have to do porn to pay $15 million. I don't think Amber Heard has a particularly bad body, so doing porn for her would probably be fairly lucrative. Well, yeah, Lou, I mean, corporations own politicians and individuals don't. Yeah, you could look at it that way. I didn't want to necessarily look at it from a cynical perspective, but you're probably not wrong. But from a non-cynical perspective, if you are a corporation, you want to be able to do financial planning multiple years out. And in order to do that, you need a stable tax policy. I mean, Lou, you're of a sort business owner. I mean, you own your own business. I mean, don't you want to have stable tax policies in place so that you can do planning for how you're going to run your business in the future? If I were a business owner, that's certainly what I would want. Rack Dog is here. Lou and Saleen need a political show. No, we don't.
Yo, that would be bad.
That would be. You see, wait a minute.
I mean, I'd hear it. I'd listen to it. But I
think people would listen to it. But you know what would want to be? You know what you would want in the case of a political show?
Yeah.
You would want two people that would be able to, every once in a while, say to the other person, you know what? You have a good point there, and I never considered that. And I love you, Lou, but you're one of those people who can never be wrong. And that's okay. I understand that, and I can live with it. But you can't build a political show around a person who can never be wrong. So, but a political show with me and Lou would certainly be amusing.
Total opposites.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be.
That'd be the show title. Is Total Opposites.
I don't think Lou and I are total opposites. I really don't. If I played this. I played this little game with a lot of friends and coworkers for many years who are, shall we say, left of center. Maybe a little left of center, maybe a lot left of center. But I played this game with them. Now years ago, Rush Limbaugh wrote a book. And in that book, he put out something called the 35 Undeniable Truths of Life. I think it was of life, but anyway, he listed out 35 undeniable truths, at least according to him. I would print out those 35 undeniable truths And then I would make sure that there was no way that they would know what the source was. They'd know no words on the page that said Limbaugh or Rush or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I would hand it to people. And I would say, labeled 1 through 35. And I would say, put a check mark next to the ones you agree with. Be honest. And put an X next to the ones you disagreed with. And, the majority of the people that I gave that to agreed with at least half, and usually more than half, of those 35 truths. And they didn't know where it came from. They just read the things like, like funny things like politics is show business for the ugly. Now, who can argue with that? I mean,
right,
and things like that. And then you tell them where it came from, and they get all pissed off because they ended up agreeing with more, with what Rush wrote down than what he didn't, and that would really aggravate him. So it was kind of fun, actually. Let's see. Lou says, I would need 3 other people on my side to make it even. Yeah, okay. You can believe what you want. Tiger Baskins is here. What's up, my friend? Then Lou asks, what is the number one risk in a government printing billions of new dollars and giving it away in the form of a check to every adult? The number one risk? Well, that's a subjective question in my mind, but I would think the number one risk would be if you print millions of dollars that are not backed up by anything real, like gold, silver, and just hand checks to people instead of working. Well, then a good number of those people won't work, and therefore you have shortages of labor. Not to mention the inflation that you create, the devaluing of the currency. Actually, basically what we're experiencing now. Did you see, Ballard, did you travel over the holiday weekend?
I did not. I stayed here.
I didn't travel either. I was sick. But yes, I said that, Lou. Number one risk is inflation. Number one risk is inflation, and not far behind it is a labor shortage. But did you see how many flights were canceled? I mean, just Delta alone canceled nearly 1,000 flights because of lack of air crews in a lot of cases. Now, in some cases, it was weather related, but a lot of the cancellation, there were what they said about 5,000-6,000 flights canceled over the holiday weekend. A lot of it was due to lack of flight crews. Some of it was due to lack of maintenance crews. And then the rental car companies, because of the Wuhan Red Death thing, they sold off all their car fleets because no one was renting cars because no one was traveling. They can't carry that kind of overhead. They sell off all their cars. Now people want to travel again because nobody's listening to the Lord God Fauci anymore, and nobody's got cars to rent. And they can't buy cars because nobody's producing cars anymore because of chip shortages. Let's go, Brandon. This stuff is incredibly intertwined. Hey, Lou, I just got an alert from PayPal. I paid for another month of Patreon. You happy? I don't mind. Let's see. Oh, Johnny Depp found liable as well. He owes $2 million to Heard. So it's a net $13 million to Depp. Battle Angel thinks a Lou and SaleenDriver political show would be entertaining. Yeah, it probably would be entertaining. It would also probably be short-lived. Lou, there was history before Trump. So maybe you might want to take your laser white hot Trump hating gaze and rotate it backwards to about 2008. Look up something called quantitative easing and see what administration was in place when quantitative easing first began by the Fed. Hint, hint, it was the Marxist Muslim. But I'll leave that to your research if you care to do it. I love you too, Lou. Lou said he's not going to do a Lou and SaleenDriver political show on his channel because he wants to gain subs, not lose them.
Do it on Slita's channel.
No, I can't do it on my channel because YouTube has shadow banned me. I can't get my channel to grow anymore. It's literally stuck on the number it's on. I can't add users. My view counts are ridiculously low.
I didn't say do it on yours. I said do it on Slita's.
Yeah, I was responding to Lou. I can't.
Okay.
I can't do such a show on my channel because my channel is already shadow banned by YouTube anyway. Do it on Slita's channel. Well, he has more subs than I do, so I can't say anything. Pizza Woman doesn't want to talk about politics anymore. Okay, I'm happy. Okay, I'm sorry. It was a misspeaking, Lou. I misspoke. Obama was president in 2009, not 2008. Okay, my mistake. The election. The election was in 2008. Tell me something. Do you think I'd get more subscribers if I choked to death?
I don't know. I can tell you that.
Yeah, so Lou's going to take one. Lou's going to take this one misspeak on my part, turn it into a stinger, and run it for a month. So okay, that's fine. Let's see. Put that in. Nobody else is coming in the yard, but I'll keep posting the link. Vodka Drinker's here. He says he enjoys my watch reviews.
What the?
I appreciate that, Vodka Drinker. I really do. I don't hate Salita. I like Dave. I think he's an okay guy. I got no axe to grind against him. Other people may not like him. He's always been nice to me when I've been on his channel, which admittedly isn't as often as I'd like it to be. When I met him in the first Slob Olympics, he was really a nice guy. He was a nice guy to everybody. I thought he acted just fine. People have different opinions of Salita. My opinion of him is he's an okay guy, and I'll maintain that opinion until he does something to cheat. What are you doing?
I'm looking at YouTube to see what everybody's uploaded. The Bucks, Kyle Trask spoke to the media.
Oh, what did he say?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard it yet. Kyle Trask on learning from Tom Brady. He prepares like no other. They help his balls.
I misspoke about both. Obama was not president until 2009. That was a misspeak on my part. He was elected in 2008, but he didn't start his presidency until 2009. So, yes, that is right. Quantitative easing was started by the Fed under Obama's presidency in 2009. So that was also a misspeak because I'm more used to counting every 4 years. Obviously, let's say, Puddinhead was elected into, well, he wasn't elected, but that's another subject. Puddinhead was, the election was in 2020, but he wasn't installed until 21. So, yeah.
Caleb's in here.
You're gonna beat that dead. You're gonna beat that horse until it dies, and you flail its flesh. But go ahead on, boy. Go ahead on. Battle Angel speculates Salita showed up at the first Slav Olympics. He wanted free room and board, free room, meal in a room. I'm not going to attach motivations one way or the other. Caleb, the spelling bee man, is
I
here.
haven't seen that name in a long time.
I have not seen that name in a long time either.
Yeah.
All right, Lou. You go on believing that. That's fine. Anyway. Lou wants to talk politics. Pizza Woman doesn't want to talk politics. Who should I listen to more? My number one troll killer or my number one Georgia fan?
Politics piss me off. That's all I can say.
Oh, politics pisses me off too, and that's what I got my degree in, for God's sake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got a bachelor's in political science. I was thinking of going into city management. That didn't turn out so good. Yeah, it didn't. Okay, Lou, you got me. I misspoke. You got me. All right, I'm right. You're right. I'm wrong. Can we move on now? Thank you. Oh, well, Lou wasn't wrong. Oh, okay, I was wrong. Lou wasn't. The difference between Lou and me is I can admit it. If I caught Lou in a mistake, he would never admit it. But that's okay. Where did I missed something? Oh, Battle Angel was asking about Caleb's dad. Let's see. He's in speech therapy. Oh, that's right. He had that heart attack, probably.
Yeah.
That set him back quite a bit. And I'm glad that Caleb's dad is doing okay. We almost lost him, didn't he? That would be a big blow to a teenage guy to lose his dad that early in his life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 57. I still have my dad around. I still feel very blessed that I still have him around this long into my life, this long into his. Hopefully I live that long. But hopefully I don't fall and break my hip. Now, let's see. Lou said they had to cancel the spelling bee at the last Slav Olympics. They didn't have anybody to run it. Well, maybe in the next. I'm hoping to make the Slav Olympics in South Carolina. Hopefully, Caleb can make it too, so he can run the show or that part of it. I thought I would do better in spelling, but I don't know. If I write words down, I can spell them better. Albert Sancho snuck in there when I wasn't looking. How's it going, sir? Good to see you. Yeah, Caleb, you and me both, man. Both of us want to make it to Pigeon Forge. I've never been to Pigeon Forge. I was looking forward to seeing that, find out what all the excitement was about Pigeon Forge, but I couldn't leave my family. Couldn't do that, so I had to skip it. Oh, goody. Here comes a problem. Anyway. Yeah, I wanted to go to Pigeon Forge real bad, but I couldn't make it. Did you go?
Yeah.
You didn't go, did you?
No, not this year.
But man, I saw a video from it. That looked like it was cold.
It was snowing in some videos, wasn't it? I thought I saw a little bit of snow that they had.
Yeah, I think the first day they were there was Friday.
Mhm.
It snowed, and that actually, I actually was worried because I've only driven in snow like twice in my life,
Yeah.
and my car isn't really set up for snow. I mean, the Hyundai would have been okay, but I wasn't bringing the Mustang anyway. But
Yeah.
um, I might bring it to South Carolina. I'm not sure yet. I can't even plan that far out. I've got a Saline Club of America national event is being held this year in Ocala, Florida, which is
Yeah.
about 2 hours from where I live. I'm 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 set to go there. I've got reservations and everything. I've already paid my fees to the club, and that's the same weekend as the Slob softball game.
Oh, so you'll
And
miss that.
huh?
So you'll miss that one.
Yeah, but I may miss the Saline event too. I mean, if my dad doesn't show some kind of significant improvement, uh, I can't go. I can't go. You know, I can't go to. I can't even go to Bradenton, Florida, which is 10 miles north of where I live. I can't go that far away to go out to dinner with some friends. I was invited to recently for a car thing. Oh, let's go hang out at you ever a restaurant chain called Ford's Garage?
Yeah. I've heard of it.
Yeah, we were all going to go out to dinner, but it was too far away from my house. It was too far away from the folks, so I couldn't go.
Yeah.
Everyone around me, I hang out with everyone locally to me. I've had to squash multiple rumors that said I'm dead.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here we go.
You got someone? Oh.
I'm just glad it was a rumor, mostly. And just so
What's
you
up, Ruben?
know, if I would have been wrong and Obama was president in 2008, I would have admitted it.
He was elected in 2008. That was my mistake.
Right.
He didn't get sworn in until January of 2009. Hey, I want to ask you a question, not to change. I'm not trying to change the subject, but I want to ask you a question. Did you really get rid of the green glasses, or did you just show throwing them away?
No, they're property of Raj Light.
Raj Light?
Yeah.
What?
I wanted them.
Well, I spent 24 hours telling people how they could get them.
Oh, well, I was sick.
I know. Oh, I didn't know that at the time. I thought you were boycotting me like Disney and the NFL.
No, I'm not boycotting Disney per se. I don't have any real opportunity to go there. I mean, my kids is grown.
Disney is more than an amusement park.
No, that's true. But well, if you're talking about like Disney Plus, I don't really watch TV that much anymore. And
What about ESPN or ABC?
I really don't watch TV very much anymore unless there's a sporting event on that I want to see. Now, during football season, yeah, I watch ESPN and
But isn't that the truth? Isn't that the test of a true boycott, though? Anybody can boycott something that they don't ever use anyway. That's easy.
Yeah,
A true boycott is doing away with something that you like when you used to watch the NFL, but now you don't. That's a legitimate boycott.
And I
Saying
legitimately
I'm boycotting
was.
Disney by not going to Disney World when you're 60 years old and haven't been to Disney World in 30 years, but saying I'm still going to watch ESPN, that's not really a boycott.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Now,
you just don't like Disney, but you're not boycotting.
I don't like Disney. No, I don't like a lot of the things that they do, but I'm not nice hat. Now I haven't made any plans for what I'm going to do with respect to, like I did last year with live streaming the game, especially the Harvard games,
Right.
which you can really only get on ESPN Plus. I'll probably do it again. And if I did it again, I would need Disney Plus to get access to ESPN Plus. So I'd have to make that decision on whether
But
I'm
that's
going
not
to.
that's fake news. You can get ESPN Plus standalone for $6.99.
They got it on Hulu.
But still, Disney
You got it
owns
on Hulu?
ESPN, so it's the same.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I'd be giving money to Disney either way.
Right. It's
I
just like
did
if
not
you were
know
to go
that
out
you
and
could
buy
get-
an Avengers movie.
No, I didn't know that you could get ESPN Plus standalone. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but
I
still that's
also-
owned by Disney.
Valerie just said it was on Hulu, which I have Hulu.
If you get the
Um,
live channels, yeah, you can get
Yeah, I
ESPN Plus. I think it's a contract.
Okay,
you
I
got.
didn't know that either, so I'll have to look into that. And as far as the Avengers and that, I didn't watch that stuff anyway. So, I mean, I don't not watch Disney Plus and all those channels because I'm boycotting them. I don't watch them because, quite frankly, I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. Most of my video entertainment comes from YouTube. I have been watching ESPN recently because they're carrying the NHL Stanley Cup. But when the Stanley Cup is over, I'll probably be done with ESPN until college football season starts.
I mean, the owner of Disney or ESPN could run around with a MAGA hat and a JFK Jr. T-shirt, and I would still watch it because I'm not giving up college football. I really don't care what the president of Disney thinks about JFK Jr. still being alive and running as Trump's vice president in 2024.
JFK, didn't he die in a plane crash?
No. His dad's still alive, too.
Oh, okay.
I see
Wait a
you're way
minute.
behind on your Trump news.
I don't follow I'm not watching Trump news. I'm more interested in DeSantis anyway. But
JFK
that's
Jr. is
another
going to
guy
be
you don't
Trump's
like.
running mate. Also, Trump is a direct descendant of General Patton.
Yeah, we need
That would
General
get
Patton
back
more than
off.
ever. Trump is a descendant of General Patton.
He is. Been proven by QAnon.
Oh, well, I'm not a follower of QAnon.
Yeah, I
either,
know.
so-
I don't have a problem with Trump people, but QAnon people are some of the dumbest people that have ever set foot on this earth.
Oh, I agree completely. I've seen, some of the. How's it going, Vic? Hang on. I've seen that. I've watched some of the. Are you familiar with the type of videos on YouTube where they're running a video and then somebody is commenting over them?
Yeah, like a reaction video.
The reaction video. Thank you. I was looking
Yeah.
for that phrase. I subscribe to a lot of channels that do reaction videos, and one of their, they love doing sovereign citizens, Moorish Americans, auditors, First Amendment auditors. Another one of their favorites is QAnon lunatics, and those are some of the funniest videos you'll
Yeah,
ever
what
see.
about Luanon lunatics?
Well, I am a big fan of Luanon.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you're doing Luanon, I'm over at my folks' house taking care of my father, so I have to watch it later. I do watch them, Lou. I promise you, I do watch them like I'm supposed to. Like
Oh, I
tell
know
me
you
I'm supposed to, and I do
Yeah,
that.
I know.
But I have to watch them on tape delay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been going back and watched our old episodes of Luanon.
Well, Vic, you got any previews of coming attractions? I mean, what are some of the subjects you're thinking for future Luanons?
I don't know.
Well, you've done
In order for us to do a Luanon segment right now, there has to be something really, really interesting to talk about because we've been scraping the bottom of the barrel for a while. So
Right.
we're actually taking a break from the Luanon stuff. Vic's still coming on Thursdays, but we're just talking about whatever we want to.
That's right. Yeah. Lou wants to take a break from Luanon. So
I got 21 people in here, which I thank you very much for, but I only have 9 thumbs up. So can I get a few more thumbs ups, please? Can I get at least
unacceptable?
Thank you, sir.
How's that possible?
right,
I don't
but
know.
there's always
What
more.
the hell is going on here?
Ballard, why are you laying down like a TikTok thought and showing the back of your ass?
What?
He's not lying. How can you tell he's lying down?
Look, turn the camera on again.
Yeah, turn the
Selene's eyes don't work as quick as they used to.
Yeah,
Turn it on again. Let him get a good look.
camera back on. Bro.
I'm tired. Fuck you.
It looked
Oh,
like
well,
you.
well.
It looked like there was a bag of wet socks laying on top of you, but that was your rear end.
The hell, man.
Mm.
Anyway, so
He's laying on his stomach
yeah,
on his bed with his camera positioned in front of his head, but slightly raised so that you can see his butt over the top of his head. That's what TikTok thoughts do.
I need to stop hanging with them then. I'm sorry.
Jerry Wells says there are First Amendment auditors that have gotten rich with lawsuits. I'm sorry, I find that hard to believe. There may be one or two, maybe, but I really would need some citation to that claim, sir. Most of these First Amendment auditors that I've seen, and I could name a few of them, they don't look like they got two quarters to rub together, and they don't look like they have two brain cells firing simultaneously. I mean, some of them are convicted felons. I mean, there's one guy out, I think he goes by News Now Houston, is a convicted child molester.
I believe what he's saying. I mean, I don't like what those people do. I think it's like the opposite of police entrapment. You know what I mean? Like police can't entrap you. There's laws to protect you against police entrapment. There's no laws to protect the police against civilian entrapment, though. And that's what's happening. These cops are getting caught in situations where they really don't know the law. And cops do get way too mad, way too easily, and way too quickly, and they end up getting themselves in trouble. So I don't like the way they go about it, but I do agree that the police or government employees should not be out here violating people's First Amendment rights. I'm sure you would agree.
Violating their rights? No. Shoving cameras in people's faces and
not illegal to film in public, Saleen.
Huh?
It's not illegal to film in public.
No, it's not illegal to film in public. It is illegal to harass people.
That's right. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, if I walk into a public place of employment like a post office, which is one of their favorite soft targets to go after, and I shove a camera in somebody's face and start saying, "I'm just here to see if they respect my First Amendment right to film in public."
Right, I disagree with that, but they do have a right to do it. I mean, that's the whole point of our rights. If everybody liked what everybody else did, you wouldn't need rights. Your First Amendment right protects you gives you the right to do something that other people don't like.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
You don't need a First Amendment right to tie your shoes. No one cares if you tie your shoes.
I told you all that story about Skokie, Illinois, back in the 70s with the neo-Nazis wanting to hold a march through that town. You know, didn't like it, not a fan of it, but they had a First Amendment right to do it, and they won a court battle to do it, and they did it. Of course, they had to do it with heavy police escort, and they were outnumbered 10-1 by protesters, counter protesters. But they had a right to do it. I don't like neo-Nazis, obviously, for
plus they killed somebody.
Reasons, but they have the right to peaceably assemble and peaceably express their views. And we're going to bring in the spelling bee man.
I like it when they do that because they don't even wear hoods anymore, so it's easy to find out who they are.
Oh, I agree with that.
You don't have to wonder, like, oh my God, is the sheriff under one of those hoods or something like?
I am a great believer in letting people, First Amendment right and expressing themselves peaceably, freedom of speech, and do it out in the open. That's why I hate cancel culture so much. I mean, if people are expressing themselves on social media or on the airwaves or whatever, and their opinions are different than yours, that should be okay. I think it really should be. And B, wouldn't you rather, if you were someone who would devoutly disliked what someone else was talking about, wouldn't you rather they be out in the open where you could see them out in the sunshine rather than off in the shadows in the dark web or whatever you want to call it?
Well,
where
yeah,
you couldn't see what they were doing.
I don't believe that people are free from consequences. I think people
No, they're
are
not
free
free
from
from
legal consequences from the government. If somebody wants to walk down the street saying death to Jews and black people, I don't think they should be arrested for that. I think if somebody recognizes somebody that's walking down the street screaming death to Jews and black people, and they know that person works at Pep Boys, I don't have any problem with people videoing that, sending it to Pep Boys, and letting Pep Boys decide what they want to do. I don't have any problem with that at all.
I
The
don't have any problem
Constitution
with that
doesn't
either.
give you any freedom from consequences.
No, I agree. Now, there's a guy down a little south of me in a town called Port Charlotte. If you want to look up the guy on YouTube, he's really easy to find. His name is Andrew Sheets. This man, now depending on what your point of view is, this man, but my point of view is this man is a disgusting human being. He is constantly saying that, fuck the police and police should die and all that. And he's always he's using a lot of Nazi imagery in his protests and everything. And he's always walking around armed. He brags about how if anyone harasses him, what he defines as harassment, he'll shoot them. And he protests out in front of elementary schools. That's one of his favorite places. And out in one of these river walks that are down there. I don't like, and I've seen him on the river walk one time when I was down in the area. I don't like him. I think what he's doing is disgusting. I think what he's doing is offensive, and I think what he's doing is a blight to the community of Port Charlotte. But it's his, as long as he's not breaking the law, it's his right to do it.
Yeah, I would be upset if the police arrested him for that.
Police will arrest him for trespassing
Yeah.
or harassment if he goes after private property or private individuals.
Well, that would be fine.
They've never arrested him for simply protesting.
Right. I would have a problem if they did.
Now, if he gets up in a person's face and starts screaming at them simply because they disagree with him, or they're trying to have a conversation with him, that's a different story. But no, I don't have a problem with people expressing themselves in ways that I don't have a problem with people expressing opinions that I disagree with. Generally, when I have a problem with that sort of thing, I have a problem with the way they go about doing it.
Yeah, because I mean, everybody has the First Amendment right, but I think it's about finding what am I trying to say, the in-between, to where if you're exercising that First Amendment right, or if you're just abusing it and then breaking the law, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the people that run into the post office and film and do all that kind of stuff or instigate police, I think it's stupid that they do that. But they have a right to do it.
Yeah, but
you shouldn't be thrown in jail for filming in the post office. I mean, just because I think it's stupid to do that doesn't mean they should be thrown in jail.
Well, they can't. Usually, the reason those post office auditors get thrown in jail is because they're trespassed and then they refuse to leave.
Right.
I mean, the officials at the post office can ask you to leave, even though it is government property or public property or whatever you want to. But if you are harassing customers or making customers uneasy, or you're preventing the postal folks from doing their job, they can ask you to leave. If you refuse to leave, they can.
Right, but then
they can formally trespass you.
Right, but you're not being arrested for filming in the post office. At that point, it doesn't matter that you have a camera or not. You're being arrested for trespassing or intimidation or harassment or disobeying a lawful order or whatever the case is. At that point, it's not a First Amendment issue anymore.
Also, you can be, if you are filming, because there are some people mailing or putting together mail that has confidential information on it, like social security numbers or tax ID numbers, stuff like. You can get arrested for that because you are not allowed to film that kind of information. That's invasion of privacy. That's why a lot of the early First Amendment auditors used to love to audit tax offices, and they stopped doing that real quick.
And see, I think that can play into all these, well, not all of them, but some of these school shootings where you see people, you have warning signs of violence where they're like, oh, I'm going to go shoot up a school, or they post this or say that. And it's all about finding the fine line where you can take the action and they're not just breaking the law versus using their First Amendment. Which I mean, making a terrible threat like that towards a school is not, I'm using my First Amendment, but you get my point.
Well, all I have
Very
to
well,
say about
you know,
school
if it's
shootings or
an
mass
offensive
shootings is this.
extreme,
When we ban abortions, it's not going to stop abortions, but there sure is going to be a lot less of them.
Thank you.
That's all I'll
Thank
say.
you.
Well, wait. Well, the abortion thing is that's just going to. I mean, even with this decision, all it's going to do is it's going to go back to a state by state decision,
Which means there's going to be a lot less abortions. It's not going to end abortions if in any state. There's going to be abortions in all 50 states, whether they're banned in a state or not. But in a state where abortions are banned, there's going to be a lot less abortions than there were before, and no one can tell me I'm wrong about that.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
you're
yeah,
not wrong.
you're right.
But
you're
did you
right.
hear about what California is starting to set up? Even though the decision hasn't officially come down yet, California is setting up a website. I wish I could find the article again. If I can find the article, I'll try and put it out there somewhere in the near future. They're setting up a website where you can literally book an abortion vacation. I think they're going to actually call it something like that. They're going to set up a website where you can book transportation, hotel, the appointment for the procedure, and transportation to and from the airport and stuff like that. All that's going to be able to be done on a centralized website put out by the state of California. I mean, for the state of California, this could become big business for them. Abortion, tourism.
Yeah, you're all for states' rights, right?
I am for states' rights. I am for the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment, which basically
so there's nothing wrong with California doing that. Then.
No, nothing wrong. I don't live in California. I don't vote in California. If I were a California voter, I would probably have an issue with my tax dollars being put to that kind of use. But
but you also have an issue with your tax dollars going to feed 2-year-olds. So
the what?
You also have an issue with your tax dollars going to feed 2-year-olds that have deadbeat parents. So,
when did I say that?
Well, all the time.
No, I never said
that.
Yeah,
you talk about people on welfare and food stamps and EBT and Section 8 and poverty, and you talk about it all the time.
I don't say I'm against it.
I don't know, but I guess how many abortions do y'all say we have a year in this country? How many million?
Per year, I think it's somewhere in the 1.5 million.
All right.
How many? Wrong.
How many is it, Jeff?
It's just over 3 million. It's about 3.1 million.
All right. So how many of those 3 million abortions are now going to become wards of the state? 50%.
There's no way to know. There's no way to know that answer, but I would probably hazard a good percentage.
Yeah. Do you think it's a higher percentage of middle class people getting abortions or lower class?
Lower class.
Lower class.
There's a good reason for that too, if you want to know what it is.
But they can't afford the baby. That's the reason.
I think a lot.
Yeah, but there's also the location of.
Now you're going to force them to have the baby and then beat them over the head with a bat because they can't afford it. What are you doing?
It's also where your slaughterhouses are located. Planned Parenthood is often located near minority communities and near low income communities. Thus, you have the situation where in the city of New York, from 2011,
located smart businesses are normally located where their customers are. You are correct, Jeff.
Right, and between 2011 and 2017, you had a 6-year stretch where there were more Black infants killed in their mother's womb than were delivered alive in the city of New York. You had a negative Black birth rate due to abortion alone in the city of New York. Where the hell's BLM?
Well, there's a lot of people that are happy as hell to hear that.
Yes, the eugenicists who started Planned Parenthood must be loving it.
Yep,
And-
population control. Yeah.
We can make all the
Margaret
excusable.
Sanger was
Why do
creator
people
of
act
Planned
like the only
Parenthood.
place you can have an abortion is Planned Parenthood?
Well, it's not, but it is.
Of course it's not. But all these people like Jeff,
they
just Planned
perform
Parenthood,
a
Planned Parenthood,
good
Planned
percentage
Parenthood.
of them.
It's
You can
not.
have an abortion anywhere.
It's not. It's just that Planned Parenthood is by far and away the single largest individual provider.
Yes.
I mean, we can make
That
it.
is
And
by
far and away
percentage,
the most active promoter of abortion.
But when
And
a
we-
state bans abortions, there are going to be less of them, right, Jeff?
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. Actually, it goes
And-
without saying. Yeah.
And that's because bans work, right?
mostly.
Mostly, depending
If
upon
you're
what kind of
heading
ban,
toward-
depending upon what kind of ban you're talking about.
If you're heading
Well,
towards the idea that
Did
in
more
states
people drink
abortion-
during Prohibition or after Prohibition?
After.
I mean, this is common sense. If you ban something,
Yes.
it will happen less.
I think he's leading towards
I mean,
ban
it's just
guns.
common sense.
It will happen less, but
But I'm willing to bet that there will be a lot more travel between states where abortions are banned and where they're not.
Right.
Yeah, you'll
It's
have,
like
you'll have
85% of the guns, 85% of the guns in Chicago were bought in what state, Jeff? Indiana. Of course they're going to travel.
Oh.
Of course
you see,
people
there
are
were-
going to travel.
You see, that was interesting you brought up Chicago because there were 72 individual shootings and 10 deaths, 9 of them African American, 7 of the 9 under the age of 18 over Memorial Day weekend in Chicago. I didn't see BLM protesting. I didn't see anybody who was upset about Uvalde protesting.
Jeff, we know you hate black people in BLM. You don't have to keep bringing it up. Black
No,
people
I'm just saying.
force
Where's the?
black people
Don't
shooting
tell me.
black
Don't tell me.
people BLM.
Don't tell me about the. Don't tell me about an evil, sick, disturbed punk that goes crazy at a school when you have a whole fucking community going nuts.
And just like Jerry said, if you ban guns, you take them out of the law-abiding citizens' hands into the hands of people.
Well, if you ban abortions, you're taking abortions out of law-abiding citizens' hands. I mean, of course.
Law-abiding citizens that are
Well,
handing out murders for free.
Basically, what happens is
children.
Basically, what happens is if you overturn Roe versus Wade, is you return the issue back to a legal issue, and not you take it away from being an invented constitutional right. It was Roe v. Wade is just horrible law. It's horrible constitutional law. It was invented out of nowhere. It's a phony paper thin theory, like Alito was pointing out, like Scalia pointed out, and they're saying, look, if you want to make abortion legal, the conservative justices are not going to get in your way.
I haven't made an argument for or
Just
against
need to
Roe
make
versus
a
Wade.
law saying so.
You're the only one arguing that point. No one else has even brought that up or mentioned that. So I don't
What,
know.
that Roe was bad law?
What is the point you're trying to make, Lou? Are you trying to make the point?
My point is that if you ban abortions, there will be less of them.
I agree.
all
I
I said.
completely agree.
That's a common sense. Approach.
Yes. Right.
And
Yeah.
then if you want to lead that
Because
into-
laws work.
if you lead
Right.
that into
And-
Most
making
of the
and-
time, yes, they work.
And you'll probably
No
see.
law work. I mean, murder. That's like saying, well, murder is illegal, but we still have murders, so there's no point in making murder illegal because people
Right,
still
like-
do it.
that's right. Well, you
I mean,
know,
it's just ridiculous.
laws.
No,
are-
I mean,
We can't ban guns. We can't
Most
ban AR-15s because somebody might still shoot up a school. So therefore, we can't ban AR-15. Well, we can't ban abortions then because somebody might still have one.
Well, I was having this similar discussion with someone the other day about, AR-15, banning them with it and all that. And I looked at him and I asked a serious question. Well, would you have felt better if they rammed a truck into the classroom?
Yes, I
And-
would have. It would have killed a lot less people.
ban
Yeah, but you
trucks.
can't ban trucks then.
No,
can
you can't ban trucks, but it would have killed a lot less people.
Well, if the building had collapsed, but I don't disagree with you on that, Lou. But I'm just saying there are plenty of. I mean, look at that.
I would have
one guy
rather he went in there with a pistol.
Well, what about the guy who
The police
drove
would have
through a
rather he went in
Christmas
there with a
parade?
pistol too.
Well, what about the guy who drove through a Christmas parade with a Ford Escape
How many
and
people did
mowed
he kill?
down
How many
dozens of
people did he kill? How many people did he kill?
I think it was 5 or 6.
Okay, well, this maniac killed 21. 30 minutes.
You know, one death is a tragedy.
Right, but I
5
live in
deaths
reality.
is
You can't
a
stop
death.
one death at a time from occurring. You can stop someone from killing 25 people in 5 minutes. You
And
can
if-
Yeah,
stop
if you
that.
harden the schools, that would have been helpful.
Well,
and if you
first we needed
ban-
armed guards at the school. Now we have armed guards, and they won't confront the attacker. Now you want to arm the librarian and the second grade math teacher. I mean, you know,
I never mentioned arming the staff.
more guns
but-
equals more
but
safety.
I do-
More guns equals more safety. But at the NRA convention, when Trump comes, guns are banned. Why? Why
Because
is
the
that?
Secret-
If
because
the
the
more
Secret
guns you
Service-
have, if the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, then why are guns banned at the or at the NRA convention on the day when Trump is there? Why?
because Trump is a former president, and the
What does that
Secret
matter?
Service-
That's even more reason to let everyone in with a gun.
he
Trump needs
faces
protection.
threat of being murdered. I mean, look at the
So
haters.
do I every time I go to the store.
Yeah.
But the Secret Service rules for not trying to make a pun here. Secret Service rules and policy when a former
This wasn't a
president or a
Secret Service
president
rule or
visits a
policy. This was an
venue,
NRA decision.
Trump.
Would the NRA convention be safer if everyone in there had a gun? Yes or no?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part of the question.
Would the NRA convention be safer if everyone in there had a gun?
The NRA convention, I would say they would be perfectly safe because most.
Then
people
why
who
are they
attend
banned?
NRA conventions.
Then why are they
NRA
banned
members.
from there?
Because
Guns
Secret
are
Service
banned.
policy trumps
Guns
NRA
are
policy.
banned at the NRA convention when Trump speaks. Guns are banned at every Trump pep rally that he has.
Because Secret Service policy trumps other
having
policies.
less guns there makes it safer.
Okay.
There's no
how
other
many
reason.
how many people at Trump rallies sneak in there who are not Trump supporters?
I have
A
no
lot.
idea. I've never been to one.
Okay, let's just
But
say.
if they did, there wouldn't be
Let's
anything
say it's a
anybody could do
handful.
about it because everybody doesn't have a gun.
Well, if
Why can't you bring a gun to a Trump rally? Why?
because Secret Service policy
For the
forbids
same
it.
reason you can't bring it.
Why does
There's-
Secret Service have that policy?
This
the
is
same
Lou,
reason
look,
you
look,
can't
look,
bring one
this
on
is
the
what Lou
president.
does. This is what
Because
Lou
they
does.
think it's safer
This
if
is
there's
what
no
Lou
guns
does.
there.
He
They think
changes
it's
the
safer.
subject
There's
and
no
he
gun- I'm
tries
not
to go
changing the
non
subject at
sequitur
all.
and
You said
equate
harden
things that are not
schools and
equal.
arm everybody. We've been hearing this for years. Let the second grade math teacher carry a gun. That's what y'all have been saying forever. Okay.
Okay.
If
Let me
everybody everywhere having a gun and the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, and we've got armed guards at schools that can't stop these school shooters, and then a dozen SWAT team members show up and they're scared to go into the classroom, then why is it that everybody at a Trump rally doesn't have a gun?
Okay, Lou.
For the same reason
what's
everybody
the
at an
answer?
Obama rally doesn't have a gun.
Yeah, but everybody at Obama rally isn't spending the other 364 days of a year demanding that everyone carry a gun.
Everybody
you
is,
know
is
that
Everybody at the NRA rally
is everybody at a Gap Tooth Stacey Abrams rally got a gun?
No.
Lou,
You're talking about
No,
defending.
It's a
Talking about-
bunch of liberal loons at a Stacey Abrams rally. What would they want? What would they want with guns? I'm just asking, is the reason that you can't take a gun to a Trump rally because it is the reason because less guns there makes it safer? I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
it's the same reason you can't take it on any government property.
I guess okay. That's what I thought. I mean, I don't see why that's so hard to admit.
Lou, if you don't think that armed guards work at schools, you don't think that armed teachers work at schools.
It's not that I think they don't work. I have seen them not work. So have you.
What's the answer?
I don't know. I'm asking.
Well, I'm asking the question, why can't we give teachers the option to carry if they want to? Why don't we?
Florida gives
hardly
teachers an
prove-
option to carry. Georgia gives teachers an option to carry. Guess what else? Guess who else gives teachers an option to carry? Texas.
Okay.
Okay, so
Well,
teachers have an option to carry. That didn't stop this guy.
Okay, so let me break it down here. Armed guards don't work. Teachers that can carry or not carry don't work. So how about we take the guns out of the equation? We set up the schools where they have a perimeter blockade, 1 or 2 points of entry only, and see where that leads us. Harden the schools by making it harder for people to get into them.
Here's my thing. If you ban guns, they're still going to get into the hands of the lunatics that shot up, like the guy that shot up that school, and then you take them out of the hands of the people that can defend the children.
Yeah, but
defend the
And if you ban abortions,
He
people
bought
are
the
still going to
guns
have
legally,
abortions. So that's a bullshit argument.
He bought the guns legally, Caleb, so that kind of defeats that scenario.
An
Unfortunately,
18-year-old went in and bought 2 AR-15s and whatever it was, 500 rounds of ammunition and body armor.
I mean, no
I'm
matter
wondering
what you
where he got
ban,
the
it's
money
still
from.
going to go up. I mean, no matter what you ban.
And why
it's
do
still
you
gonna be
support
done.
bans at all?
Because first of all, I support.
Why
gun
is it?
abortion
Why do we
because
ban
it's-
illegal immigration? People are still going to do it. Why ban it?
because hopefully it will stop the
because
majority
you
of
try
them
to
from
neutralize
coming
it.
and
You
they're
try to
breaking the
Right.
law.
And hopefully, if you ban AR-15s, it'll stop some school shootings. It's the same principle and philosophy. It's not going to stop them all, but you hope that it helps.
Well, then let's give it a shot. So be it.
Speeding is illegal. People speed every day. We don't go around going, well, we might as well do away with the speed law since some people are still speeding. No, because speeding keeps the majority of people under the speed limit.
So what would you do?
Banning abortion is going to prevent the majority of abortions in a state. Banning illegal immigration is going to lower illegal immigration. Banning crack is going to cause less people to do crack.
You would ban the sale, the manufacture and sale of AR-15s. Is that what you want to do?
Not just AR-15s. I use AR-15 the same way I use the word Coke or whatever.
You'd like to ban shotguns?
No.
Pistols?
Nope, not pistols, not shotguns.
Anything
Revolvers?
semi-automatic.
Semi-automatic rifles, yeah. Anything that, yes, I would ban those.
Anything where you pull the trigger.
I would ban everything that Ronald Reagan wanted banned, everything that George Bush wanted banned, and everything that Clinton did ban from 94 to 2004. That's what I would do. Reagan was in favor of banning specifically
the colossal failure.
Specifically the AR-15. Reagan was in favor.
The colossal failure that was the assault weapons ban passed by Clinton.
Wasn't a colossal failure. You can go back and look at the number of mass shootings from 94 to 2004.
The ATF and Department of Justice numbers prove was a flop. The ATF and Department of Justice numbers prove it was a flop. It did not stop the number of shootings in the United States.
The number of mass shootings. Mass shootings are the issue. No, there's nothing we can do about someone taking a pistol into a mall and shooting somebody. There's nothing we can ever do to stop that because no one supports taking pistols away. So that's
and when a guy pulls the trigger, when I stand in the middle of Merle Hay Mall,
why has nobody ever killed 25 people in 10 minutes with a pistol? Why has that never happened?
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you, when I'm standing there in the food court at Merle Hay Mall with my Sig Sauer P320 ranged at 9mm, and I squeeze the trigger, how many rounds come out?
One.
Right. And if I stood there with an AR-15, how many rounds come out?
One.
All right. So why you're not going to ban my pistol, but you're going to ban the AR-15?
Well, my question would be, why do you need the AR-15 if the pistol will do exactly the same thing? The answer is, that's not true. That's the answer. That's not true.
Well, the answer is because I can have a 30 round clip in that AR-15, and my Sig Sauer only holds 15. And not only that, if me and a guy with an AR-15 were standing 50 yards apart with body armor on, and I had body armor on and he had body armor on, his round is going to kill me and my round is not going to kill him.
Right. You're pointing out a lot of the reasons why people want those type of weapons banned, including a lot of police.
I understand why they want them banned.
Yeah. I mean, the whole one squeeze of the trigger, one bullet thing, that's fake, whatever. That's not, I mean,
that's something Beta O'Rourke doesn't even understand. Beta O'Rourke doesn't even understand that's what the word semi-automatic means.
Beta O'Rourke is in the minority, even with liberals on his stance on guns. Beta O'Rourke is way, way, way too far to the left. with his stance on guns. So
There are serious
the majority.
There are
So
there
wait a
are
minute,
people
let me ask you, Jeff. Let me ask a question here.
Yeah.
Beto O'Rourke wants the government to come to your house and take your AR-15. I'm against that. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know what the percentage of people is who wants that, but it's very low.
Okay, so
That's not gonna happen.
That's breaking my Fourth
if
Amendment.
a pistol, if a pistol with a clip in it, magazine clip,
magazine.
You pull the trigger, one bullet comes out, it recocks, reloads, and so it's bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
AR-15 unmodified. Put a clip in it. Pull the trigger, bang, 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 bang. It's not pull and hold, and the whole thing flies out. And
no, that would be fully automatic. That's you have to have special license.
So if they're both one pull, one bullet, one shot.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Here's the deal, Saleen.
It's the size of the magazine is the problem.
Can we get Republicans to okay, forget banning AR-15s. Can we do a 3-day waiting list? Can we do universal background checks that check more than just the state database that you're buying the gun in? Can we make it a national
when I bought my
background
pistol,
check?
I had to wait 5 days.
There's no waiting period for anything. This guy went into Sports Academy, bought an AR-15, and walked out 15 minutes later. So
right now we're talking. I agree. You should not just be able to walk in. Some guy walks in off the street and he's got $500 with him, and he drops $500 on the counter, and he walks out 10 minutes later with the. I get that. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, can we get some compromises? Like, okay,
yeah,
maybe an 18-year-old really doesn't need an AR-15. Make them be 21. I mean, you have to have a license to fish. You don't have to have a license to buy an AR-15.
More extensive.
Well, I wouldn't isolate it to just an AR-15, Lou. If I was king for a day, I would go
use
for
the word
5
AR-15 to cover all. Everyone knows what I mean when I say AR-15.
Okay.
Talking
If
about
I were king for a day, I would put in an automatic nationwide 3-day waiting period for any firearm purchase: shotgun, pistol, rifle, semi-auto rifle, 3-day automatic wait, and a nationwide, because it's technologically possible now, national background check. And that would go for not only walking into Lou's Bait Shop and Firearm Emporium, but also for the big box chains and gun shows.
Yeah, Saleen, you mentioned the pull the trigger, one round comes out.
Right, that's semi-automatic, right?
This is right. I'm trying to think. It was either 17 or 18. It was well before COVID. I was at the Isaac Walton League, which has a pistol range, has a shooting range, and I go there about 3 or 4 times a year. And I remember why the specific reason I was there for this date was because they were doing timed shooting. Okay, so you had a guy standing right behind you. Okay. Ranged, the 6-hour 320 can be fit for 40 millimeter. It can be fit for 9 millimeter. Mine is at 9 millimeter, so it'll hold 15 rounds.
Hey, Loctite
I could not get off. I failed to get off 15 rounds in 30 seconds. I could not get the trigger squeezed, the next round chambered and fired off. And of those, shooting at a target 50 feet, not 50 yards, 50 feet away, I managed to put 6 of 15 rounds on target. 9 of the other rounds went wild and could have hit somebody else, could have shot somebody on the second floor. 6 were on target from 50 feet. Because you're going bang, 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 bang. You just can't do it. The reason why these AR-15s is because they have and it about blew my wrist off, by the way. And I've never done it since. I'm not that crazy. But the AR-15's got a long stock. It's got a military style grip. The trigger is got a very strong oleo, so it's just bang, 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 bang. It's much easier to fire off one round at a time with an AR-15. With an AR-15, I could have easily gotten the 30 rounds off in 30 seconds. That would have just been pop, 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 pop.
And here's the problem in the neutral ground that we need to stand on. That kid went into the store and bought it, and just like Lou said, walked out, 15, 20 minutes later?
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
It's
I mean, the
ridiculous.
background checks and all that, I got no problem with any of that.
Yeah, none.
Like, the thing
Nope.
is, and some people will say, well, even if we had a 50-state national background deal and red flag laws, this particular kid wouldn't have marked any of those boxes. And that's true.
Right.
Now, so a 3-day wait, maybe he changes his mind in 3 days, maybe he doesn't. But it feels like those would stop some of the
Absolutely.
It might stop some of them, but like if you've got the dedicated nut, if you've got the two kids at Columbine that planned this thing out for months, I mean, no law, no waiting list, nothing's going to stop that. Those nuts are going to go through with it because they've lost their mind.
Yeah,
And no law. Yeah. And no
But it
law's gonna stop that.
but it might stop the guy who just left Thanksgiving dinner pissed off at his brother-in-law for something that was said over the ball game, and is now going to go buy a 9mm and show up at his brother-in-law's house tomorrow, and shoot his ass.
Or
It might
something
stop
else
him.
that I don't think this has happened in a while, but it became an expression for a while, going postal. Remember that?
Yeah.
People would get fired from their job at noon, go to the store, buy a gun, come back to their job and shoot the place up.
Yep.
Waiting periods would maybe prevent that, because you have a family, you lose your job, you can go temporarily insane or something, but maybe 3 days later you've calmed down.
It'd stop. I would think the waiting period would certainly help reduce the so-called crimes of passion, which are what most gun deaths are. Most gun deaths are either suicides or they're single individual victims that are a crime of passion. That's what most gun deaths are.
I would support a 3-day waiting period even for pistols, but I wouldn't advocate for. I think if I feel like women is a good example, but I don't know if that's sexist to say that now, but someone fears for their life in a domestic relationship or something, and they feel like they need some protection, so they want to go get a pistol. And it could be 100 other scenarios I could think of too. So I'm okay with no waiting period for pistols if maybe we can do one for some of the other type weapons.
I see what you're saying, Lou, but I would respectfully disagree. I think we have the waiting period for all of it.
Because
I wouldn't fight.
I mean, you're creating exceptions already. You're creating loopholes.
Yeah, you're right.
Right off the
My
bat.
thing is, even if a lunatic goes and
though.
buys a pistol, he's not killing 20 people in 20 minutes. It's just not going to happen.
No, these shootings too. So much goes into these shootings as ballistics plays such a large role. What's the caliber of the weapon? What was the type of ammunition used? How close was the target to the shooter? A lot of things come into play. What makes these mass shootings so terrible is that, other than the fact that they're a mass shooting, which is terrible on its face, is that very often the shooter is right on top of his victim. I mean, he's right there. He's killing people from 20 feet away with a high velocity round that just, you only have to hit him. You don't have to hit him in a lethal place. You hit him in a non-lethal place, hit him in the thigh, hit him in the upper arm. It almost rips their body apart, and then they bleed out, even if they don't get shot in the head.
Well, that's what happened in this school, and those police. And
those police let some of those kids die.
Yeah, and that's a shame. And I don't really want to judge them too bad, because we're all bulletproof on, when we're not in that situation. But I don't think any of us really know what we would do until you're put there. So I hate to do that, but it's just hard to believe that there was that many basically SWAT officers standing outside a classroom door for an hour. An hour.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
What really bothers me about this whole thing is that we haven't, in my opinion, we haven't gotten serious about hardening up these schools. These are soft targets. Now, we can, I mean, hardening with respect to seriously limiting the access to these campuses.
Uh-huh.
Now I'll give you an example. The high school that both my daughters attended here in Sarasota, they installed around the entire campus, and it wasn't cheap, but they installed I think it's about an 8-foot high metal fence around the entire perimeter of the school, concentrating especially on the front, the parent pickup drop off area. They put in only 3 gates in the fence. Now, during pickup and drop off, all 3 gates are accessible. But when pickup and drop off time is over, they lock the 2 gates, and you can only get in through the 1 gate. And then the only place you can go from there is straight into the office, where they have to buzz you in.
Uh-huh.
And then you have to deal with the lady behind the bulletproof glass that, what's your business here? And if you can legitimize what your business is here, then you turn right and go through another door, and then you're into the building itself.
Yeah.
Now, that may not be the hardest place in the world to get into, but it's certainly difficult.
And see,
both
that's
my
the way-
kids' school, and I've never walked around the school and pulled on every door, but at the front door to the school, when you walk up, the doors are locked. You can't get in, and there's a buzzer, and you have to buzz, and they say, "Hello, can I help you?" And you have to say, "Yeah, I'm here to pick up Alex Raycroft, or I'm here to pick up Natalia for a doctor's appointment." There's a camera there; they can see you, and the door buzzes, and then you can open it.
Yeah.
Now, there's 30 other doors into that school. I've never walked around to the back of the lunchroom and pulled on that door and all that, but I'm assuming they're locked.
Now, we just gave. I want to finish this thought. We just gave. Now, I'm also going to preface it by saying half my heritage is Ukrainian, so this Ukrainian thing going on is a little personal. But we just gave $53 billion to the Ukrainians for weapons, for weapons in a war that we have no dog in the fight, as it were. They're not a member of NATO. They're not strategically important to us. Yes, it's terrible what the Russians are doing to the Ukrainians and on and on. But $53 million could have, and I put a graphic up on this on my Facebook page if anyone cares to go look. You can clown me all you want about it, but the facts don't lie. We could have spent that money easily hardening up almost every school in this country for $53 billion.
Yeah,
I think our priorities
I agree with you there.
Skewed in this right now. And today, this really angers me. Today, the bodies are being put into the ground starting today in Texas. And what is the Pudd'nhead administration concentrating their efforts on right now? Reinstating mask mandates on trains, planes, and buses.
And with the problem with
Fuck me, we have our priorities so goddamn skewed up.
Exactly.
We want to control how people act instead of control how people access our most precious commodity, bar none, our children. You're concentrating on a lawsuit about masks when people are walking into elementary schools and laying absolute waste.
And it's bad
This is
enough.
what infuriates me. Never mind the First Amendment or Second Amendment back and forth.
They're not actually trying to reinstitute mask mandates on planes and trains. They are challenging the case that a circuit court judge in a state can individually overrule what is it? FDA or whatever it is. That's the lawsuit. The lawsuit is not they can force you to wear a mask on an airplane. The idea is if the FDA, the point of the lawsuit is that if the FDA institutes whatever,
It wasn't the FDA, it was the CDC.
CDC, that's right.
They don't have the power to
CDC
do it.
institutes whatever. Can an individual circuit court judge in a particular state overrule that? That's what the lawsuit is
The
about.
lawsuit, yeah, I know what the lawsuit
They're not
is
going
about.
back to masks on airplanes.
The
It just so happens that that's what this case originated
the point
from.
is the CDC doesn't have that kind of power. It doesn't. It wasn't mandated by Congress.
Oh, right, and that's what this
power to
lawsuit is
dictate.
going to decide. That's what this lawsuit
Yes,
is going
I
to
agree.
decide.
But
Not
the
whether or
point
not you have
is,
to wear a mask on a plane tomorrow.
the point is they're putting effort into nonsense when we have so many other pressing problems in this country right now.
Well, you're
They're
perfectly
giving billions of
aware, though,
dollars away to
you do know that
foreign
the government is
countries
capable
when
of
we
doing more
have
than one thing at a
problems
time. But,
here.
I mean, I'm not defending the government, but they can actually concentrate on more than one thing at a time.
I know they can concentrate on more than one thing at a time, but let's concentrate on the important things like the safety of our children and whether or not a piece of cloth over your face is going to be dictated to by.
I mean, that's like saying when Trump wanted to ban Muslims that he didn't care about American economic issues because he was busy trying to ban Muslims. I mean, you can care about two different things at the same time.
The ban started under Obama, by the way.
Yeah, but you can. There was no Muslim ban under Obama.
No, but there was bans on those countries by Obama. Some
Terrorist countries. There were bans on 6 terrorist countries. Right. Trump wanted to ban immigration from any country that was majority Muslim. But yeah.
No, he only wanted to ban it until we could come up with a system to vet them properly. Once the system was in place, the travel ban or the immigration ban was going to be lifted. In fact, it was lifted.
Right, but you have to remember that immigration laws are pointless because some people are still going to break them.
That's a circular firing squad argument, you know.
Yeah, we are. That's where we started. Let's not go back there.
I mean,
We're actually making some progress here.
I mean, you had a good logical thought on, you know, why have laws against speeding? Why have laws against murder? Why have laws against theft? I mean, people speed, people kill, people steal every day, even though there are laws on the books to prevent it.
But
The
you
What's
hope
your
to
thoughts
neutralize.
on
the laws being there on the books prevent the majority of people from preventing it, and the ones that choose not to obey the law, well, that's what the police departments are for, isn't it?
Yeah. What's your
that's the
thoughts
overly
on why
simplified.
we have so many of these mass shootings here compared to other places?
My thoughts were a whole lot more of a, how do I put it? We're a whole lot more of a, I think, kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? We're a whole lot more of a destructive society.
Oh.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
also a more heterogeneous society than most societies that we get compared to. We have more diverse population than in almost any other country in the world. I mean, okay, let's say, well, people always say, well, there are no mass shootings like this in Scandinavia. Yeah, well, that's because Scandinavia is pretty much the same across the entire population spectrum.
But yeah, fucked up is the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
I mean, but also I love to point this out because I actually lived there for a good number of years of my life. Kennesaw, Georgia. Nice place to live.
That law's not enforced, so it's
Yeah, but it
bullshit
is.
law.
But I know it isn't because I didn't own a gun when I lived in Kennesaw, and technically the only place where you had to you're required to own a gun was within the incorporated part of Kennesaw,
And only if you were a homeowner, right?
right? Only if you're a homeowner.
Yeah.
But in the incorporated area of Kennesaw, there's been a murder there in a very long time.
Well, you
Just
said you
saying,
used to live
just
there,
saying.
so your homogeneous comment about Scandinavia would also apply to the incorporated area of Kennesaw.
I don't know. It seemed pretty diverse.
It's all white people.
Not where I lived. I had a neighbor next door to me. I loved.
Saleen lived in the projects.
No, I lived on Bell's Ferry Road. Actually, if you
I know where that is. Yeah, I had a friend that lived in Kennesaw for a long time. Yeah,
Right off
I know
of
exactly where Bell's Ferry
575.
Road is.
Yeah, right off of 575. I lived on 4228 Petworth Lane. If anyone wants to look it up.
And that was what 15 years ago.
And we moved out in 2001. So
Yeah, have you been back there since?
Yes, actually, I have.
Yeah, you hardly
I
recognize
wanted
it.
to see what the condition of that was the first house I ever bought. I wanted to see what the condition of it was. And it was
Kennesaw, just like Marietta and
Yeah,
Dunwoody and all those areas around Atlanta have absolutely exploded in the last 10, 15 years.
but my neighbors, as you look at the house I lived in, the house next door to me on the right was a 3-generation Indian family. And I'm talking Indian with the dot, not American Indian. And they were uniformly some of the nicest people I ever lived next to. And the grandma and the wife, Jesus Christ, they could cook. I mean, the smells coming out of that kitchen were stupendous. And they actually managed in Georgia clay to grow their own chilies.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable. I don't know how they did it. They wouldn't tell me either.
Yeah, because you can't even grow weeds in Georgia clay.
This is true. This is true. But they grew and dried their own chilies. They dried them out in the driveway. It was
Wow.
wonderful people, though. But the neighborhood I lived in, which was the name of the neighborhood was the Park at Bell's Ferry, and it was a very diverse population. I mean, we had all kinds of folks there, and everyone got along pretty good, except when it came time to cutting grass. Then everyone kind of went nuts.
Here's something for thought. Vodka Drinker says, why hasn't a female been involved in a school shooting?
You know, I'm sure there are some studies out there that have asked the question, why does it seem that they're all young white males doing all these mass shootings, except for the one in Texas recently, of course. I believe he's Hispanic, but maybe that's an outlier.
Okay,
why is it all young white males that are doing this? I couldn't even begin to speculate. I don't even know why there aren't more females of any persuasion, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, that don't do mass shootings.
Well, females fuck up people mentally
exactly
their entire life.
Yeah.
Physically they treat people better than us men do, but mentally they spend their entire lives fucking people.
Yeah, they're just kind of like a leech, and they survive on the psychological destruction they commit to other people rather than like the physical destruction.
Lou, I'm going to guess that Battle Angel is not in the same room with you right now.
Oh, no.
Because if she was, I would hear the sound of fist hitting flesh.
She knows not to take my shit seriously.
She better by this point.
But a woman can't fuck you up in the mind, though. Some kind of superpower they have.
We're finding all sorts of common ground now as we go along.
We're all men here.
And
so that's the common ground. We're all men here. But
and what a coincidence, we're all white men.
Yeah, that's true. We're all white men.
Where's Jordan when you need him?
Where's Tiger Baskins?
I don't know this for sure, and I haven't really paid attention to it because to me it doesn't really matter. But weren't most of the students and the teachers who were killed at this Uvalde shooting Hispanic?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, it's a Hispanic.
I believe the community is majority Hispanic.
Yeah.
Had that been a white shooter,
oh dear God,
shooting up a Hispanic school. Oh, holy hell!
And then see that gets
especially if he would have had a derogatory word for Spanish people carved on his AR-15.
Yeah,
like the guy in Buffalo had the N-word carved on his rifle.
Yeah,
he did, didn't he?
That gets down to the basis problem of America. We have too much division of race, division of sex. Here's the deal: batshit crazy is batshit crazy. There's crazy people in the world. There's lunatics in the world. There's nothing you can do but try to.
Now there are some people that are legitimately scared of this replacement theory thing. And you know what? I don't know who came up with that term replacement theory, but it is true. It's just a matter of time. White people will not have a 51% majority in this country anymore. There will still be more white people than any other one race. But white people will become a minority majority. Like there might be, 45% of the country might be white, and the next one might be 25% Hispanic or something. But so there'll still be more white people than anybody else, but white people won't be over 50%.
But it lowers the numbers. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, at one time the Census Bureau determined that was going to be 2062, but I think they moved it back to the late 2040s now when that happens.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the
be a real old man by the time that rolls around.
Yeah, I won't be alive to see it. So.
I hope I'm.
All I know is that I can boast that my hometown of Springfield, Illinois, in 2020, it was released. It was big news, local news, about a month ago, 2 months ago. The FBI does what they call the dangerous intersections, or the Department of Justice, the FBI, whoever it is, and they go to urban areas of 100,000 minimum, and they determine within a 3-block radius of this spot, what is the, not total number, but what is the per capita violent crime rate. And in 2000 and 2010 and in 2020, 3 times in a row, the corner of Cook and 11th in Springfield, Illinois has finished in the top 10 for most dangerous intersections in the United States. So congratulations, Springfield.
Ban intersections.
Yep.
Worst intersection I ever encountered was Windy Hill at 41.
Yeah, get
I wouldn't drive Cook through Cook and 11th in the middle of a Sunday afternoon with the sun shining and an armed convoy of Humvees around me.
Or Barrett Parkway at 41 in Kennesaw was really bad.
You know why white folk are afraid of becoming the minority in this country, don't you? Because they know how this country treats minorities.
God damn.
Well, I was just going to say because they look around the rest of the world and see. Oh, never mind.
Fuck me. What did I walk into?
I don't know.
Your favorite thing,
Raj, bring some sanity back to my
You know,
Raj.
I was typing in the comments, and that's we got a lot of, okay, let me ask y'all something this. When you're 15 fucking years old and you get your learner's license, you got to have 1 year and 1 day. And you got to have at least 40 hours of driver training and this and that to get your fucking license.
Correct.
But yet you got to be 18 years old. You can buy a gun. You can buy a pack of smokes. You can serve your fucking military. You can do whatever the fuck you want to, but you got to be 21 to buy alcohol. And then that's the problem with this country is we are a reactive company. We're not proactive. We wait till shit hits the fan, and then I'm not going to get on this big Wuhan goddamn this and that, but that's the problem with this country we have. We're complacent. It's like driving a truck. And when you drive a truck, when you get used to a route and you're driving 200, 300, 400, 500 miles a day, you get complacent. You get to this stop, you get to this intersection, you get to this road. Well, one day, guess what? You may not pay attention. You roll through an intersection. Guess what? You may kill somebody.
I think that I would argue that as being human nature is to be reactive instead of proactive. I think we're, pretty much anyone we know was more a reactive person than proactive. It's in my experience in life. That's what I see in most people, including myself. I try to be proactive, or I did try to be proactive when I was younger, but now I react.
I'm guilty of that too, Saleen. Like I get comfortable, like I don't want to change anything until something goes wrong, even if I know I should. Like I know I should quit smoking. It would be proactive of me to quit smoking.
Right. It's
but I'm probably not going to quit until I go to the doctor and they give me some bad news or something. You know?
That's what I'm trying to say.
The other day I was now I've been doing this thing with my father since December 1st. That's now into my 7th month of caregiving, for want of a better word. And the other day, I was doing something that I've been doing literally every day for 7 months almost. And I was moving my father from his wheelchair into bed. And I've been doing it every day, same lift, same everything. And I got complacent, and I slipped. And I got him on the bed easy enough. He never knew if there was something different about the whole thing. But my spine just, that's the reason I wasn't on the 24-hour stream. I was literally crippled.
This or this.
Oh, that's okay.
You got to understand, man. Like I said, I've been driving a truck for 22 years, and I've seen shit y'all have never seen ever. I've seen people dead on the road. I've seen motherfuckers wipe the fuck out. I've seen wrong way drivers. I mean, I've seen shit that you don't want to fucking see.
That's probably true. Yeah.
And like I said, we are such a complacent country to the point where we get so used to shit. And it's the same way with the politicians. It's the same way with the fucking everybody else, man. You get so complacent. And then when shit hits the fucking fan, it's like, what the fuck? You have to be proactive sometimes. You have, like, every day, like, I'm OCD. I'm like you, Lou. I'm like you, Saleen. When I get up in the morning, I put my clothes on. I pack my lunch. I do this. And when I get fucked up, off my schedule, I go ahead and kick that reactive in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already have a backup plan to what's going to happen for the day. And that's just the way I am, and I don't know, man. Like I said, it's just to the point where the laws in this country is so fucked up to the point where I'm a bumbling idiot. I'm just an old truck driver that comes from an old soul I'm third generation. All my family's owned grading businesses and has worked their whole life.
And see, I think within that reactivity comes disagreement, and nobody can find middle ground, and that's one of the problems.
I understand that, but the thing about it is, I plan for my day, and I understand this is going to happen. Maybe this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. But I'm going to say something right now. It's probably going to piss a lot of people off, and I really don't give a fuck. It's called common goddamn sense. I understand. Yes, you may be a college graduate, you may have your fucking doctorate, and you may have this, and you may have all that, but you ain't got a lick of common sense. I don't see no fucking point in even fucking talking to you. You have to have a little bit of goddamn common sense, man. I mean,
you ain't wrong, sir. You ain't wrong at all.
I mean, it's literally just looking at shit.
Common sense ain't so common.
I can look when I'm going down the road and I see a motherfucker on their phone. Guess what? I back over one lane and I get back 15 more miles an hour because I know that stupid motherfucker's going to do something that's dumb. I'm not going to risk me killing him or him killing somebody else because he's on his goddamn fucking phone, on his Twitter or what the fuck ever he's doing. I observe this shit every fucking day. My job, listen here, truck drivers are the biggest babysitters in America. I babysit 1 million people a day. Literally.
At least you didn't waste your time with that freedom convoy.
Whatever. I don't even talk about that.
I didn't even hear about if that ever got off the ground. I guess the news media blackout on that was pretty good.
Well, I
never heard a word about it.
I'm just a local driver. Whatever they wanted to do, they wanted to do. But listen here, I'm gonna tell you something. They can do their freedom fucking rides, and they can do this and that and whatever. Listen, I got a mortgage. I got fucking 2 kids. I got bills to fucking pay. Don't fuck with me. Just let me do my goddamn job. I fucking clock in at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Let me fucking do my job and go to fuck home. Other than that, kiss my ass. I don't give a fuck what you do. As long as it don't affect me, I'm fucking fine.
Raj is the perfect libertarian.
He's the perfect.
We need that. The book Chicken Soup for the Soul. We need Raj Light for the Soul. We need a book of like all Raj's wisdom, so that when he passes away, we have something to pass on to younger generation.
Am I not right? Lou, you do your fucking thing. You do what you got to do to make a fucking living. If nobody fucks with you, you go to the grocery store, get your 4 or 5 bags of groceries. You come home, do your fucking thing. Saleen, you do your thing. Caleb, you're a young man. You are doing your thing. J-Dub has his own thing. He has to make sure that his fucking house payment's paid, his bills are fucking paid. If somebody steps in the line of me doing that, we're going to have a fucking problem. And that should be for
for the soul
everybody.
has a good ring to it.
You know what I'm saying? That should be for everybody. If I get a fucking phone call and there's a crazy motherfucker at my son's middle school with a gun, guess what? I'm coming home and getting every fucking rifle and shotgun I got. I'd fuck the police. I'm showing up in an 18-wheeler, fucking balls to the wall, eastbound and down, son. And I will fuck, dude. You know,
I was talking to one of my law
that
teachers
dude ain't gonna fucking survive in this country. Listen, I come from the good old boy system. You know, that's the problem people don't fucking realize, man. I'm telling you the fucking truth, man. You don't fuck with fucking people's fucking family and their fucking money and making the fucking bills. We all are blue collar motherfuckers. We
That's what
don't
this country
care
was
about
founded
this.
on.
We don't care about that. Listen, as long as I got food on the fucking table, roof over my fucking head, my kid's head, don't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about all this bullshit. And that's the problem we're getting. That's what we're getting away from. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean getting away from? We done got away from.
Oh, we've done gotten away from it a long fucking time ago. And I know, like I said, me and Lou are fucking good friends. Man. You know, yeah, we've all fucking been. I know y'all. Y'all ain't afraid to fucking pull the fucking trigger. I mean, and that's the problem that people are getting so fucking sensitized from is like, well, you know, guns are this or guns and that. Well, you know what? Sometimes, goddamn motherfucker, you need a little bit of justice. If I pull up in my fucking house and there's a motherfucker walking down the street with AR-15, I got a 30-06. I can shoot that motherfucker 600 yards right between the eyes. And don't think I won't fucking do it.
Sometimes you got to take your defensive action when nobody else will do it for you.
You know what I'm saying? Don't think I won't fucking do it.
Does Jordan not stand your ground?
You know what I'm saying? And you know, these crazy, stupid motherfuckers that want to do this stuff, the problem is our schools are not policed enough. We don't have enough staff on fucking hand because of this pandemic fucked this country up. I'm sorry. It fucked it up. You can't pay fucking people. We don't have the budget. We don't have this. I've been trying to make a fucking appointment for 2 weeks to get my damn DOT card certified.
There's been an armed guard at every one of my kids' schools from the day they started to now. Now, just one, you know, but and all he has is a pistol. So I don't know what he's going to do when the guy shows up with 2 AR-15s and 500 rounds. But there is an armed guard there.
Well, I know
my kids'
at my school. I know the police officer at my son's school. I went to school with them, and they got shit in that car that will, trust me, it ain't gonna take them. The car's right there. They open the trunk, it's over with.
Well, by the time he runs to the car, that's 20 kids gone.
You know.
When my sophomore year in high school started back in 1771.
That was before we got liberated, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, so before the revolution. Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff was paying T-tax to the crown.
Yes, I was a British subject at the time.
Jeff protested the Stamp Act.
Yeah.
There was a Sacred Heart Academy and Bishop Griffin were the all girls and the all boys high school in my hometown, and there were 4 public high schools: Southeast, City High, West End, or West Side, and Lanphier. And in 1982, Lanphier made the unbelievable, controversial decision to install metal detectors at their front door. Oh my God. Somebody might try to bring a gun to the school. There were no armed guards at the schools. There were no school shootings. There was nobody going to the mall and shooting each other up. when two boys had a problem, they had a fist fight and it was over. But there were just as many guns available then as there are now. But the society has changed.
Thank you.
Now
And,
we can go
yeah.
shoot up a place where when I was in school, you would have never thought of that.
It's the same way I was, Jeff. I mean, these guys and these fucking crazy motherfuckers put their guns in their cars. They leave them out there and they do this and that. Man, I remember in 7th grade, we still got paddled. You had to have permission from your parents. But I can remember a teacher, one of my teachers, Mr. McDonald, these two kids, man, these two motherfuckers went at one another for fucking months. Finally, he stood to fuck him. He says, 3:30 in the fucking class, y'all two in the fucking backyard. And that was it. And it's like I was telling you earlier, you know, when my son had a 5th grade graduation, when I got on livestream the other day, and I said, I don't ever remember. I had a kindergarten and a high school. You know, and on top of that, you know, everybody, when I was in a school, it was like fucking Full Metal Jacket. Joker, hey, congratulations, you made it. Fuckface, I'll see you next year. That's how it was. The teacher, the last day of school would tell you, you fucking failed or you fucking passed.
Rod, you're gonna love this. I went down to visit my father on spring break when I was a junior or a senior in junior in high school. And the high schools in Tuscaloosa and in Tuscaloosa County were not on spring break. They hadn't had theirs yet. So my dad and I and a guy that he was good friends with went to Centerville, Alabama, which is about 20 miles southeast of Tuscaloosa, to pick up his son, who was my age, who we were going to meet. And we were all going to go out and have supper that night. We go into the parking lot of the school. It's about a half an hour before their kids are dismissed. And there must have been 30 pickup trucks in that parking lot. And I think every damn one of them had 1 or 2 shotguns in the rear window.
Well, that was the same with my high school.
And I was like, I remember telling my dad, I said, this place is armed like a fucking army battalion. Look at all these shotguns.
Yeah,
Now,
they had,
my high school
and
had
not one of
plenty
them kids
those
shot
guys.
each other.
And,
Yeah,
and if they did walk into that school with that shotgun, then probably they'd kill 2 people.
Right. Right.
I was
like James, the guy who was with us, James said,
Now they walk in
well,
with
yeah,
they kill 21 people in 20 minutes.
I would argue that in the time now I'm of similar age to J-Dub, and I remember plenty of kids in my high school with the pickup trucks in the parking lot, 1 or 2 rifles or shotguns in the gun rack in the back window. I remember that.
oh yeah,
I remember one of the biology teachers in my school actually on his lunch hour was selling pocket knives out of his classroom to anyone who wanted a pocket knife. I bought 2 off him because back then I was sort of collecting knives. I mean, I would argue, I think correctly, that over the intervening 40 to 50 years of between then and now, this society and society in general, and I don't think it's just an American problem, I think it's a worldwide problem. I think this world has cheapened life. Now, there are a multitude of ways that, in my opinion, has happened. Now, I'm not going to get into those, but I think life nowadays doesn't mean what it used to mean. It's cheaper.
that's the problem.
It's more fame oriented. It's more look at me.
Right.
Give me my
Right.
5 minutes on
Man.
YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
And no matter what it takes for me to get clicks and likes and thumbs ups, and followers and stuff, I'm going to do it, and that includes up to and including.
And I know J-Dub and you were similar in age. Me and Lou were only 3 years apart. The thing about when me and Lou went to school was, it was the people who had the Jordans, and the polo T-shirts and the Tommy Hilfiger and the JanSport backpacks.
Yeah.
Oh, we had members only.
And it was that was the crowds you were, here it's like those were you hated those motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? But I never wanted to fucking shoot them. Yeah, I wanted to whoop their fucking prick ass, you know what I'm saying? But once I got to be older and be friends with them, all it was is their parents just made a little bit more money than mine did. That's all it fucking really was. They were just kind of the same kids we was.
Does anybody, hey, J Dub, do you remember members only jackets?
Yes.
They were the status symbol around here. There's one guy who I'm actually friends with now. His name is Buddy. That was his actual name, Buddy. He owned so many members only jackets in different color. He literally went 2 weeks wearing a different color members only jacket.
Yeah.
And everybody hated him.
The other thing was
they hated him.
The other thing was accessories. Did you have a Sony Walkman?
Oh yeah, the fucking Sony fucking Walkmans. Yeah.
Did you have a Nintendo Game Boy?
Yeah, I didn't have one of those. No, I had a Walkman though.
Did you have the latest little gadget that you could hold in your hand? That was not so much clothes at my school because, well, first of all, my school was different because I went to a school where we were in uniform, so it didn't matter. But yes, in the public schools, it did matter. The kids did care that this guy. Look, you see that guy's got that new Bulls jacket, members only. Oh yeah, it mattered.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When me and Lou was in school, we already had the Nintendos, Super Nintendos, the Segas, the Game Boys, and all that shit. You remember those shirts, Lou, that was called "This Is Life," and it had like "This Is Life," Georgia footballer, and then
yeah.
Then you had those Reebok.
Big John. What about the Big Johnson shirt?
Big Johnson, and then you had those
Big
Reebok
Johnson.
shirts.
Yep.
Oh, those were funny.
Shirts on
Those
the back
were hilarious.
The smiling baseball, the smiling hockey puck, the smiling football, and then the thing about when I was in school, I think Luke can agree with me on this because, like I said, we're only 3 years apart. It was your shoe status. It was so fucked up because that's how you got judged.
Oh, your shoes were the most important thing when you were in middle school. If you're mine and Roger's age, yes,
it was unfucking real, man. Like
I missed that part.
It was Jordans and then pumps. You remember when the pumps?
Yeah, the Reebok pumps. You had the Shaq. You had the cross tie Air Jordans, and then, dude, it just got you. Then you turn around and what was it? The fucking God damn it! What was that fucking basketball? You had the Sean Kemp's. Oh my God, dude, it was fucking crazy, man. Like that was your status in school.
I remember the day that I realized
the Allen Iverson
that shoes mattered. Not that they really matter, but the day that it dawned on me that wow, people might be looking at my shoes forever. Yeah. I went and got my shoes. My parents, every year, the week before school started, every year, my parents would take me and my brother to Kmart and buy whatever the cheapest pair of shoes was that fit us,
That's how I was.
And I remember, I think it was 6th grade, but it might have been 7th. They took us to Kmart. And by that time, I knew that I needed like a certain, I needed a certain brand of shoes to fit in. But I didn't know that Kmart wouldn't have that. So I didn't object to going to Kmart. But we get to Kmart and my parents are having me try on all these Jordache shoes.
You talking about Jordache and McGregor?
Yeah. And I remember being scared to ask my parents or tell my parents, like, I don't want these shoes.
Right.
And it's not because I really didn't want them. They were comfortable shoes. I had no problem with them. It's because everyone else made a big deal about it.
And say, Vodka Drinker and Black Dog has a good thing. OP and fucking Bugle Boys and Panama Jack, son. It was fucking nuts, man. I remember doing the same fucking thing you did, Lou. My mom, bless her heart, like I said, she worked her way through college, did 3 shifts at a fucking healthcare center. She'd take us to. You remember when, Lou? I know you remember this. When you used to walk into Kmart, what was the first smell you smelt?
The kitchen.
Because you guess what was in there?
What?
A Little Caesars fucking pizza.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Every fucking Kmart had a little.
Every Kmart had a Little Caesars. Yep.
Yep.
And when you walked into that thing and you smelt that, you had to get Crazy Bread and the fucking pan pizza.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I got to wrap up. It's time for me to head to the folks' house.
All right.
These-
For the,
All right,
for the
bud.
All right.
evening shift.
Hey,
The
I'm glad
evening
I'm glad you got to stream today, Celine. This
Yeah,
was
me
fun.
too.
It was good to hang out with you again.
It's good to hang out with all of you, but definitely. I don't know that I'll be able to do this next week because I know my dad absolutely does have a appointment with the with the doctor on
Well, I
Wednesday.
tell you what,
afternoon.
man, just text me, and if you want me to do a substitute stream next weekend, I'll be more than glad to. Unless I got something going on.
Raj, I think you probably pencil that in, but I'll text you and let you know.
Yeah, just text me. Let me know.
But I think you should pencil it in because I know he's going back to the doctor on Wednesday. I just don't know what time.
Okay,
And
just
that
text me.
usually
Let me know.
suits the afternoon.
All right. I love you guys. We'll talk to all y'all later.
See you.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you, Blue.
it was
Appreciate
good to be.
Thank
it
you,
was
Jay.
good to be.
Raj, I
Saleen.
didn't get to say goodbye. Caleb, good to see you again, man.
Best
Yes,
best
sir.
to your pop, Celine. We'll see you later.
Thank you. Thank you. And Caleb, best to your dad, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Same to yours. It was good to be back on here. I've missed it, man. It's good to hear from y'all.
Thank you. It's good to see you again, man.
Absolutely.
Do
Same
this
here,
again,
brother.
I hope, real soon.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right.
I'll see you.
See you. And guys and gals in the chat, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to pay attention to the chat a little bit more, but when we get rolling on the yard, that's why I keep dropping the link so more and more people can join in. If you haven't already clicked the thumbs up button before you leave, please do that. I'd love to see if I could get that thumbs up to 20. That would be great. I'm going to try and do this next week, get episode 98 in. I don't know. I mean, my dad is definitely going to the hospital, not the doctor's appointment. And I need to be there to help move him around and stuff. This is what I do, the human crane. But it's my pops. And I can't not do anything for my family, my pops, my mom, my kids. Got to be there for my family. Got to be there for your family. So, like BVD always says, hug your mama and your daddy and everyone else because you never know when they might be taken from you, or God forbid, you might be taken from them. So, keep that in mind. Thank you all for hanging around on another Wednesday afternoon live stream with me, SaleenDriver, the show about nothing in particular. And this show today proved it. I had a blast, guys. I will see you again real soon.